Hello students, welcome to our distance learning lesson number 3. In this lesson we're going to focus in on HH3 under the Algebra 1 category. It's on inverses of trigonometric functions. And so a lot of this will be done in the calculator today. It should be a pretty quick lesson that you can get through. Just to remind you of what we worked on before. We were solving trig functions. So in this case here, let me go back. The first lesson we had, we were just writing ratios. We're simply writing the ratio and solving it. So we're solving for two side lengths. Okay, well, with the two side lengths, I was able to find a number that the tangent of an angle was equal to, or so on and so forth. Then lesson 2, we were actually computing it in our calculator. We were given an angle and computing it. Now this is a little bit different. We are now interested in solving not for a side length. We already have a side length here. So this could be maybe 3 over 10, or it could be 6 over 20. You might have two sides that are, one is 6, one is 20, or any combination of side lengths. You might have a side length that's 0.3 over a side length that's 1, and that's fine. But really, the focus of our lesson today is to solve for this angle measure that's right inside there. So this is a really easy process. You have your sine of your angle. Oh, remember, let's always write this at the top. Whoops. Let's always write this at the top, SOHCAHTOA, which is our relationship. We're not going to need it too much for today, but don't forget that that sine of our angle is equal to our opposite side over our hypotenuse side, that the cosine of our angle is equal to the adjacent side over our hypotenuse side, and then the tangent of our angle is equal to the opposite side over the adjacent side. Again, we won't really need that today. See if I can fit that all right there. Good. Because today we're only doing the inverse. So let's take sine of x, sine of angle x. Whoops. This doesn't like when I write on top of a picture. Sine of angle x equals 0.3. So the question is, what is the measure of angle x? Well, you're going to perform an inverse operation. An inverse says switch the input. It's still not writing for some reason. There we go. Switch the input with the output. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the sine of 0.3 is going to be equal to the measure of angle x. But I can't just do that. I have to do what's called the inverse operation. So that -1 isn't really a -1. Don't say sine to the -1. It's called sine inverse. Sometimes in our calculator, it could be called arc sine. We'll get to that in a second. I don't know why this image keeps moving. All right, so x, give me a second. I just updated it and I think it's having a problem. All right, so the measure of angle x is going to be equal to the sine inverse of 0.3. So all we have to do is put that into our calculator. So let's bring up a calculator. We're going to do sine inverse of 0.3. Make sure you're in degree mode. You want to make sure you're in your degree mode. The way to check it, remember, just do sine of 30. Oops, sine of 30. 1/2, cosine of 60, that 1/2, and that will tell you, any two numbers that add up to 90, You can check your calculator. So we're in the right mode here. And we want to do sine inverse of 0.3. So you are not going to use this key. You're not going to use sine. You're going to use sine inverse. Well, how do you get sine inverse? See this inverse key, INV, inverse. Now you have the ability of doing sine inverse. So we're going to do sine inverse of 0.3. What did I tell you? It's going to call it arc sine. Don't worry about that. It's still sine inverse. You typed it in, arc sine. We hit enter. And guess what? We have 17.457 degrees. That's our answer. So it really wasn't too much. Let me see if I can add a text box here. And we're going to, I don't think it's going to let me do that. So the measure of angle x. This really does not like when I write over an image. It keeps wanting to move it. The measure of angle x equals, or is approximately, we said it was 17.4576. 17.4576 wants me to round to the nearest hundredth. So the hundredth place, 10th, hundredth, let's go to the thousandth place. Let's go to, my word. Let's go to the thousandth place. And so the measure of angle x is approximately 17.46 degrees. So it's going to round up to a whole, to a hundredth, that is a 6. Okay? So this answer is 17.46 degrees. And we're just going to do that a couple more times. So I'm going to do these a little bit more quick. Oh, you want to make sure it's an acute angle. I think all of these are acute angles, right? So I'm going to do the arcs. So in this one, if the cosine, let's do this quickly, if the cosine of x equals 0.1, then the inverse cosine of 0.1 equals x. You just switch it. And so now x is approximately equal to, and you're going to type that in your calculator, cosine of 0.1. So we're going to do inverse cosine. Just make sure it shows up as inverse. Inverse cosine, which is arc cosine of 0.1 equals 84.2608. Let's do 84.2608. 80.2608. So we're just going to focus on this number right here. So x approximately equals 84.26. It rounds off to 84.26. I am going to change this one to a different. It does not like this at all. I should not have updated. Let's see, there we go. Again, when you perform your inverse operation, you're just going to switch this, and then write it as an inverse. And that's it. You're done. Let's do a tangent one. So tangent of 0.5. So tangent of 0.5, tangent of x equals 0.5. So I'm going to inverse these. So I'm going to switch the input and output. The tangent of inverse of 0.5 equals x. So x approximately equals, so I'm going to arc tangent, inverse tangent of 0.5, and I get 26.565. 26 point, what was it? 26.5650. 56505-ish. Okay, so I look to this place, and yes, I am going to have to round it to 5, 7. Be careful on your rounding, because you can get it wrong. You could get it wrong if you round incorrectly. 5 rounds up, 4 or lower rounds off. Again, these were all to the nearest hundredth. So, all right. And there's a couple more. I'll do another one. Cosine of 0.3. Did we already do cosine? No, we did cosine of 0.1. Let's do cosine of 0.3. So inverse cosine of 0.3 equals 72.5426. 72.54. Look at this. I'm not even writing it down. 72.54. So I'm going to do cosine of x equals 0.3. I'm going to switch these. Oops. So cosine inverse of 0.3 equals x. X approximately equals 72.54. 72.54. And 54239. 239. And now I'm going to focus on the 2. So x approximately equals 72.54. It rounds off. So 72.54. I think I have one more. Oh no, I did two more. Two more. Yep. Let's do tangent of 27. So tangent of x equals 27.8. Switch them. Do your inverse. So tangent inverse of 27.8 equals x. So x approximately equals 27.8. 27.8. Whoops, that's not going to work. And we get about 87.939, 87.39, 87.939, 88897, 88897, 88897. Okay, so that's going to round it up to 94. So 87.94. All right. Hopefully you're confident with these. Let's do one last one and we'll call it a day. We're going to do inverse sine of 0.9. You're going to get so good at these, you're just going to go right over without even showing your work. And you're going to type it in. Okay. Oops. So let me show my work though. So sine of x equals 0.9. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Sine inverse of 0.9 equals x. X approximately equals, so we're going to evaluate sine inverse. We get 64.158. Whoa. 60, I forgot, 4.15806. Okay, that's good enough. And now focus on the 8. So x approximately equals 64.16. 64.16. Okay, you should be fine with those. Here, I didn't do one actually on iExcel. So let me show you what it looks like on iExcel. And we'll call it a day. I'm just going to do it in my calculator. And then you remember we're in grade 9, Algebra 1. Yeah, I'll do it in my calculator. I won't show the work for it. I'll just evaluate it. We are on inverse. Okay, so it's going to be inverse sine of 0.7. So inverse sine of 0.7. Inverse sine of 0.7. Make sure my calculator is in degree mode, which it is. I get 44.4. You know what? It wants it to the nearest hundredth. Now, I'm going to have to round the 2 to a 3. Okay? So 2 will get rounded to it. Whoops. I forget I'm in here already. The 2 will become a 3. And ready to submit. That's right. Perfect. All right. Good luck, everyone.